off any enemies, they can just strategically destroy the base of SKT.
And you complete the teleport Atlas and even accept if Cho'Gath can full rotation the top lane tower, which he can't, he backs away because Infernal Drake is the first spawn. The dream when you're wanting top lane Jace and 4 members that profit off of Infernal. Exactly the sort of Drake RNG they were looking for. For the first time, Faker looks pretty subdued in his play on Corki. Game is far from over, but this is the Longzhu draft they were looking for in much the same manner that we would have said about SKT in Game 3.
Yep. And we asked the question of Taliyah into Corki. Faker made Corki look like a counter pick into Taliyah against Pawn, against Crown, against all of these seasoned Taliyah players. As Khan, good flash. Just wanders out of the rupture there as well. It seems like you can't get him when he's playing Jace. The comfort is too strong.
He's just so good at knowing his limits, Atlas. He didn't get a chance to know them. His limits were basically a gray screen in game number 3, but game 1, 2, and now 4.
Yeah.
He's just so good at understanding mechanically where and what he needs to do. Even macro-wise, smarter than you would expect with how good his macro are.
And look, this is the story where we expect SKT to be winning game number 4, to be doing that back-to-back, that reverse sweep against KT, against Longzhu. That's how the story feels like it should be going, based on the fact that they managed to get the red side. They get the counter pick for Huni. They get all these opportunities. And it just feels like Longzhu said, well, we're going to throw that script the heck out the window because we know what we want to do. We'll take this game in our own hands. And they've got a massive lead to bring us towards 15 minutes.
And it's so damn attractive to watch. It's the spirit of the ROX Tigers that was lost after the roster changes in 2016. It's relentlessly aggressive. It's pushing for every advantage. They are not the control team. They are the firecracker. And the firecracker's popping off all over the map.
And that was a zoning seismic shove that got an extra few auto attacks onto that turret for Prey. In the meantime, what they were preparing in their kitchen earlier was Cuz taking down the Rift Herald, which he can set up if he wants to. There's now no more turret. It's almost like he's bothered by the fact that they've done so incredibly well towards the mid lane. Now with his Void Touch passive, we'll see whether they move towards the bot side of the map or whether they're looking to continue anything forward. It feels like Longzhu have so many options. Prey going for this turret destruction build with the Zeal item coming in after the BF sword. Don't necessarily need the crit of an Infinity Edge if you're just going to be hitting those buildings.
And it's been so surreal that Caitlyn has been looked over so many games in a row. Because we keep sitting there saying, guys, it's patch 715, guys, it's patch 715.
Yeah, she's still good.
716 is being played in every other region. And I think it is small things like, well, can't practice her in solo queue, different Caitlyn, different laning power spikes than from before. Doesn't have the same sort of A lot had changed about Caitlyn on patch 716. And it's that weird thing. We actually see this quite often when we know that a patch change is coming a week later. People just stop playing a champion that's nerfed because it's like, well, I haven't practiced it as much. Like, what's the point of even doing it? Or they start
playing champions that aren't buffed yet. It's like Rek'Sai turns up before she was buffed or changed. And we're like, but beyond, it didn't quite work.
And that's the eccentricities of delayed patch cycles.
Yeah.
But Caitlyn is still very, very powerful. The most recent nerf, if you're losing track of patches, was the extra attack speed per level, which hurts her in the late game. But the traps still do plenty of damage. The sieging and the laning phase is oppressive, and it's a great answer to what Tristana and Rakan want to do, because they can go toe-for-toe, shove in their face, and stop there from being any satchel charges on enemy turret.
Yeah, and the only, exactly right. The only change from busted first ban necessary Caitlyn is attack speed per level. There's absolutely nothing else. And we saw when players were playing on this patch that she was still #1 pick.
On the new patch, extra damage fall off for your Q means you can't wave clear as safely or as quickly as before. The traps make your late game worse. Those are not live here in Cuz. They want an inner turret. Cuz is being a happy man. They could interrupt this if they wanted to invest a flash, but not worth it.
Yep, they don't have to though. Cuz just going to set himself up with a cute little present that they do not want to be walking over, as that's the free charge, full health on the Rift Herald, doing a lot of work to take this one down and Prey free hitting.
3 control wards on the right side as well. They can all tend towards the right side. Nowhere safe to go. Traps to go, no teleport to happen.
And we were talking about an SKT masterclass in game number 3. Game number 4 is it's like Longzhu were taking that class throughout this entire time, and their macro movements, their play around this map has also looked towards that level. It's just felt like the puzzle pieces have fallen in place one after the other, the dominoes just falling over pristinely.
You know, I tweeted early in the season, around the time they started to get good, I was pretty damn excited about Longzhu Gaming.
Yeah.
And then the patch changed, and I was like, well, we don't see Khan playing the top lane tanks. That's
We didn't know whether we could be excited.
We got all the way to the grand final, and I said, well, there's really good reasons, founded reasons, to not be able to see them beat SKT. You had to predict SKT based on the data, but that's because there was no data for Longzhu Gaming in the last 3 weeks, and they have stuck to their style, and they have also bucked the trend of rookies crumbling at the knees when they take a bad game. Game 3 was as bad as possible for Longzhu.
And for Cuz especially.
And they managed to steady the troops like Cuz, who took it in a stride, took it on the chin, and walked up and started doing the same sort of bullying that Blank was doing to him in Game 3 to Blank himself in Game 4. And from here, will they go on and win it? We're still not to know. They're in a wonderful position halfway through Game 4. But even that, even just seeing that from Longzhu makes me so excited to see them going forward, because we know it doesn't take a single punch to land onto Longzhu Gaming for them to fall. They'll come back up and look for a brawl.
Yep. And if they don't win this, of course, they do have to play through that Worlds qualifier that's going to be happening next week. If it's Longzhu winning here, that they have set themselves up to do, it will be KT Rolster. It does mean that next week is going to be a treat no matter what, Pop Smithy. Still, Khan now just going to pick up this wave. There's an Infernal Drake going to be spawning. I'm glad that they showed this one. Double Infernals for Longzhu in match point. 6,000 gold in the lead. Double serrated Dirks already for Khan. Oh god, it couldn't get any better than that.
People were asking if it was a scripted series when we had a reverse sweep telecom war. Wait, hold the point.
Yeah, SKT actually looking for this one is Cuz. Oh, flashes on top of the Latin Gorilla. So good. Wants the hook onto Blank, but doesn't find it. Not sure how Cuz survived, to be perfectly honest. That's the Weavers Wall blocking up the Maokai. It is going to be the flash gain out of Longzhu. Good trade.
2 flashes for 1, so Longzhu even trade up when it looked like Cuz was stuck hopelessly. Your mind flashed back to the sort of patches that happened in the previous series.
Whoa,
patches.
Yeah, flashes. Actually, Gorilla was looking for it. Doesn't even matter. BDD locks down the kill. I felt when the hook went wide that it might have been a little bit too much trust, but it doesn't matter. I just didn't trust enough, and Khan knew exactly what he was capable
and
of.
Can just move over and taxi the minion wave into the inner turret in the bot lane. They already have the mid lane inner. It's free. That's what happens when you get free time with Caitlyn and also the Jace. We're running out of easy objectives, Atlas. They're almost all down because Longzhu's ahead of schedule in so many different ways.
Yeah, they can't even now go back and grab a Baron because we're still 1.5 minutes away from that one as well. 2-0-1 now for BDD on his Talia. He's had such an incredible performance. I want to see his KDA for this exact tournament because I don't actually have it in front of me, but he has not died a lot. They lost a game. He didn't die. Just absolutely ridiculous. We're asking the questions of BDD versus Faker. It's not necessarily been that storyline for this series. It hasn't been about the mid lane matchup necessarily. It's about how they augment the rest of their team. We know what BDD does with
3,000 gold lead in top. 3,000 gold. They got a 1,200 gold lead in the mid lane as well.
For context, that's like a Bloodthirster ahead.
Bloodthirster's pretty expensive, but it's a big item ahead. Yeah. I mean, you can't help but soak in some of the storylines, return to them even though the match isn't over, even though SK Telecom could still win.
Yeah.
Seeing SKT camp a brush. Good scrying off spots them though.
Cuz's smites have been pretty good. Once again, it is going to be successful. Dark Passage gets him out. Gorilla, the savior of Longzhu. Eric's an interesting choice in game number 3. His Thresh has looked so incredibly good.
The only storyline we haven't talked about is that Fox Tigers achieved a lot in 2 years. Their 2015 and 2016 brought so many fans in Korea and around the world. They won the LCK. They never won Worlds. But remember, they never beat SK Telecom in that big fight. Gray and Gorilla have never done it. Yeah. It would mean so much for those two in particular. In the most unlikely of fashion, you had to look at the members they surrounded themselves with largely as a downgrade, but they are so close to engineering the finals win they never got.
And Khan so close to beating the heck out of Huni as well. Doesn't avoid the rupture as there's the feast. One more auto attack to flash the beast. Oh, Baker is going to come in and make it a 1-for-1, but not able to save him like he did last time.
Pings onto Baron though instantly. They could be able to answer here. Baker used his teleport, will get a turret for it, but isn't able to respond to the top side. Smart move from Longju to start Baron. You see Baker back away. Don't know if he has a special delivery in base. I think he does.
This could be opportunistic from Longju though. They've got a ward, does SKT, and it hasn't been cleared out just yet.
This is the pivotal moment
to block things off. Wolf doesn't have smite, so he's not going to be the situation here as it's going to be taken. The hook lands onto Wolf as well as Battle Dance. So much damage as the Blackboard from BDD locks it down. Flank as well. In so much trouble. Baker trying to be the hero. He does so much damage and takes down BDD, but the damage has been done by Longju. Double Infernal Dragon. Now the Baron buff onto 4 members, I believe, unless Khan was still dead, but still. Massive take here from Longju.
Only 3 Baron buffs. We get the confirmation that Khan did not pick up the buff, so that's unfortunate for the side of Longju. But they get one of the catch-up mechanics for SKT, the Baron buff, off the map. We saw it already in game number 2. If you're against a siege comp and get Baron, Baker will have to just Valkyrie away. Had to flash. Huni wasn't body blocking there, but it all happened in an instant. We're not going to wave our fingers too much at Huni. But we said it in game 2. This is the way to stop a siege comp. It's to get Baron when the siege comp gets Baron. Minimum here is going to be epically breaking the base, and only SKT can start to fish with a rupture. It's not going to stop anything from Longju.
Who can freely walk forward and soak these traps as well, as you can see how much damage even Huni's taking as the big beefy Cho'Gath.
I mean, he's got a budget build. He's not even got a Warmox at 22 minutes in the game. It's just going to be the Righteous Glory and some health. Nothing else to speak about. So those crits are still going to be registering pretty decently onto the Cho'Gath, but they'll back away and wait for the next minion wave to spawn.
Oh, this line of control wards as well, denying any vision from SKT outside of their base gate. Huni still very, very low, is now taking a lot more damage. The base is broken in the mid lane, but can they get something back here on the side of SKT? Bang has taken down Cuz at least as Khan turning it around against Baker. Oh my god, that damage with the shock blast picks up Baker and Huni. It's going to be Bray cleaning up on the back end. Khan is still alive. My god, Blank is going to survive, but he couldn't do anything against the gigantic chase.
He's still zoning away Blank. They can at minimum get 2 inhibitors here, but they might try to end the game, Atlas.
They could just go for the game. They've got the Baron buff still rotating around them. Nexus turrets now under siege. The Cinderella story, the fairy tale that we were talking about could now be a reality. Unless the ancient grasp can actually get some work done. On the side of Blank, they take down Gorilla, but all the damage is still here. Khan turns off. Blank should die as Wolf. Grand Entrance comes in. That will stop some of the damage, and Longju will back away for the moment.
We take a deep breath. They realize they are unlikely to be able to end the game, even with Blank dying. They back away, but get a couple of picks, and you can end the game in the face of the super tanks. We know they can soak, but not soak that well with how far behind Maokai and Cho'Gath are. And the damage will register from the side of Longju Gaming. Is this the moment you can get excited? Is this the moment you can believe that SK Telecom, who have gone 4 years with never losing an LCK or Champions Final, will actually bleed? Because this is as close as any team has ever got.
I challenge you to not be excited watching Longju right now. Khan, this play was absolute god tier. Wolf had to flash because it would have just been the W in hammer form that would have taken him down. Khan is so big. They are teetering on an LCK victory from 7th place in the spring split to first and champions of LCK Summer 2017. An unheard of result.
5,000 gold lead, Atlas, for the Jace. More than 5,000 and being kind to the side of Huni. It is just the most unbelievable story. No coach, no analyst, no caster predicted a Longju victory. How could you? But they are rewriting expectations. They are showing that they used their time in the last few weeks to make it work, and they want to end it here.
Yeah, Weave as well is going to split up SKT as Huni just on the wrong side of this battle. They can just focus down this Nexus, and that's what Bray is starting to do. Wolf jumps his way through the quickness. It's just going to spell his death, as Blank is not tanky right now. The Beast doesn't do anything. Baker's going to explode as the massive damage message from Prey is going to say goodnight to the king of the mid lane. The Nexus falls, and your new champions of the LCK is Longzhu Gaming.
Longzhu Gaming have proved the fairy tales come true. How could they ever beat SK Telecom T1, the team that had never lost a Champions or LCK final, that had only ever dropped 3 games in 6 best-of-5s. They dropped 3 games today with a roster that no one saw coming. If you predicted Longzhu to finish top 5, you would have been laughed out of the room by everyone. If you predicted Longzhu to win the grand final, they still would have been laughing Atlas, but no one is laughing today. There are tears in the eyes of Longzhu's faces because they have beaten the champions, they have beaten the gods, and Longzhu Gaming are going to Worlds.
And there is no better way to do it either. 4-game series, completely crushed in game 3. Looked like their spirits were down, but they come back and return the favor in game number 4. Utter dominance from Longzhu Gaming.
If you piss off Faker, he will come back stronger. If you piss off Longzhu Gaming, they as a team will engineer your downfall. Huni beside himself. Wonderful game in game 3. But it felt like Longzhu had the cheat code. Longzhu was not going to fall into the traps that so many teams over these years have fallen into. It is a famous victory. I sat there on the World's Analyst desk last year for SKT versus Rox. Rox couldn't get over the line, and I said the fairy tales don't come true. But I get to be front row center for the Longzhu fairy tale, and even taller tale, who was 6 months ago, was a true rookie. He is a Royal Roader, Atlas, our first Royal Roader in the longest time. No professional experience, now a champion. And Prey and Gorilla, the most beloved bot lane in the world, actually beat SKT in a final for the first time.
Just unbelievable. Cuz so deserving of that Royal Road title as well. I hope he gets a chance to lift up this trophy as Prey.
Listen to the crowd.
Just unbelievable.
And you know what the best thing is, Atlas?
What's the best thing, Papa?
We haven't seen the best of Longzhu Gaming. They will only get better. This lineup will come in one of the favorites next year. It will go to Worlds now. It forces KT Rolster to probably have to play Samsung again. Could the story be any more sweet? If you sat there at the start of summer and tried to script this season, you would have done a worse job than what we got.
Absolutely impossible. It's been an utter joy, Papa Smithy. What an incredible season. What an incredible year of LCK, honestly.
Incredible miracle. Now Longzhu Gaming have an LCK title. I never thought I would live to see the day.
Speechless.
I spoke to Gorilla after LCK Spring, and he said, all I want to do is make Worlds. It didn't look like it was on the cards, but they've done it. I think it's time to start to send it over to the post-match interview, though, Atlas.
I think we certainly should. On behalf of myself, Papa, Achilleos, thank you so much for watching OGN Legion. But now, for the final time, I'm going to send it to Joel for the post-match interview.
Thank you very much, guys. This is Joel with your last interview translation of the season. Thank you, Papa Smithy. We thank you, Atlas. We thank you, Achilleos, for another great season of casting in. We're going to have an interview hosted by Castajun. We're going to have a talk with all the players and hopefully the coaching staff as well, if they do make it out onto the stage. Let's go over to Gorilla first. It must feel so different with a new team. If I can say one thing, thank you so much. I've been in the finals with 3 teams so far, and I've been blessed with such wonderful teams in my career, and I want to just pass it over to all of my teammates who really deserve all the credit in the world.
우리 정말 죽지도 않으면서 하루에 한 경기 한 번도 안 하는데 선수가
And we'll go to DDD, a player who just never seems to die during his games. And there he is, the man himself.
울지 마, 울지 마.
Crowd is chanting, "Don't cry, BDD."
No
이번
sobrevivirá.
스프링이 제가 살면서 좀 가장 힘들었던 시기 중 하나였는데
This spring split, previous split, was probably one of the toughest times of my life, and
오래된 롱주
it
팬들도 많이
just means
즐겨주셨으면
so much
좋겠어요.
more that I'm able to get this championship today.
네. 사실 스프링 때는 아까 그 영상에 나온
You know, as the parody video showed, that you were just meditating all spring.
그만 닦아서 이렇게 잘 된 것 같아요.
And I think, you know, being able to rest all spring allowed me to have this championship today.
안녕하세요.
Let's go to Khan.
야, 오늘 마지막에 제이스 그냥 이게 햄버거라든지
He is the owner of the Jace champion. That is Khan that you are looking at, ladies and gentlemen.
솔직히 걱정 살짝 됐는데.
Yeah, I was actually worried when I was practicing the Jace right before the preparation, but I destroyed SKT and I destroyed it single-handedly, and I got the win.
커즈
And let's move over to Cuz.
로엘로너 사실 이거 우리 이런 상도 정말 만들 수가 없는 게 이게 나올 수가 없거든요.
And we don't really have an award for you that really deserves for all the things that you did. You win a championship as soon as you make your debut split.
아무래도 연습했던 대로 잘 할 수 있었던 것 같고
I think all in all, it just came as we practiced. I think it was, this team is totally just dependent on the bot lane duo, and because of those two, Prey and Gorilla, I think all the people at Long's organization,
정말 감사합니다.
I can say nothing else but thank you.
경험 부족이란 것 때문에 사실 그 약점을
A lot of people were worried because of the lack of experience that you had coming into this competition.
그랬나요? 그때 부스 분위기 어땠어요?
How was the boost like for you going into this
Otro
final?
cadáver para las
After losing Game 3,
못했던 면이
and I know that
저 자신으로도
many of that part was due to me playing not as well as I should have.
그냥 그라가스 원래 뺏겨서 졌는데
But you know, it was all about Gragas being taken away from me, but getting it back in Game 4, I get it back and I get the win, so I'm all up on smiles now.
코즈를 갖고 막 패기 있게 재미있게 그러니까 코즈 이렇게 형들이랑 그렇게 막 뭐라가 자꾸 이렇게 막 아팠던
And all your teammates are telling you to cheer up for all the things that you're trying to do.
형들이 아무래도 저 생각하시는 마음에
Yeah,
좀더
my
있더라고요.
teammates really just wants me to be excited because they really do care for me. Let's go to Frey, the leader of the squad.
역시
You are the Santa Claus of the Summer Split for this Long's organization. Anything you'd like to say?
일단 제가 세 개 다른 팀에서 우승을 했는데 일단
Yeah, I won with 3 teams so far, but I give all the credits to my teammates who played fabulously. But Game 3, we lost. I'm sorry that we couldn't get you guys home earlier.
너무 기분 좋고
But losing that Game 3, but going back to Game 4. But Smeb, hey Smeb, I made it already. You come follow my lead.
Solo un necio.
Now let's go over to coaching staff because we need to have a talk with these guys as well. The head coach first. Hello, I'm the head coach of Long's organization.
Tus verdades son insignificantes.
Anything you'd like to say? You know, first of all, we went to the finals in the mindset of doing promotions, in the doing relegations. But that's all I really came up with. But I'm so proud of my team for pulling this off today. And I think, you know, going back in memory of all that we've been through, I think everybody contributed to this moment here. You know, all the players, all the coaching staff, they didn't have one moment of sleep, and they really just did everything. They devoted everything towards the team. And even the subs, even the players who don't play the actual game, they really helped out, improve our teammates, and it's just everybody who really made this happen. Let's go and win Worlds. Hello, I'm the coach of Long's Gaming.
롤드컵 우승하자 그랬는데
The head coach wanted to say that let's go to World Championship, but I had their career back in the day last year when I got second place in the World Championship. But I think I'm with all these players now, but I'm so planning, and all the thing about Khan is what I want to mention here. You know, this is a tank meta, don't get me wrong. The meta currently is tank meta, but being able to carry with a DPS needed a 200% contribution for this team. But I think we're going to practice until we get to the World Championship and show you what we're made of. Hello, I'm one of the other coaches for Lobster Gaming. I'm so happy to get this win. And first of all, getting to the World Championship is just ecstatic for me. And I think we have a good chance of winning the World Championship. And I know that there's a promotional video that comes in as soon as this finals begin, of where legends are born in this stage. But I think this might be the beginning of all our players who are just taking their first step into becoming legends. Any last words for any of the players? See, Gorilla here.
네, 일단 저희 조금 휴식을 갖고요.
We like to have a little break first of all.
서행이 약간 그런 다툼을 봐야 되기 때문에.
And we have to see how Smed and Kuro will have the argument of not winning.
No podrás esconderte. Nunca corro riesgo.
¡Racha sangrienta!
Disfruta del sabor del acero. Juega con fuego. Estos huesos conocerán mi cuchilla. Acabemos con esto rápido. No sobrevivirá. Solo un necio daría su vida por honor. Tus lealtades son insignificantes. Fuera de mi camino. No podrás esconderte. Esta espada es mi favorita. Nunca corro riesgo. con fuego. Penoso. Sobrevivirán. Solo un necio daría su vida por honor. Otro cadáver. Sus lealtades son insignificantes. Fuera de mi camino. Asesinatos. Esto no es un reto. No podrás esconderte. Ha muerto un enemigo. Nunca corro riesgo. Ha muerto un aliado. Fuera del fuego. Acabemos con esto rápido. No sobrevivirán. Daría su vida por honor. Fuera de mi camino. Disfruta del sabor del acero.
Tu equipo ha derribado una torreta. Tu equipo ha derribado una torreta. Ha muerto un enemigo.
podrás esconderte. Nunca corro riesgo. Quien juega con fuego. No podrás esconderte. Nunca corro riesgo. Quien juega con fuego. Acabemos con esto rápido. No sobrevivirán.
Ha muerto un enemigo.
Solo un necio daría su vida por honor. Tus lealtades son insignificantes. podrás esconderte. corro riesgo. Juega con fuego.
Ha muerto un enemigo. Ha muerto un aliado. Ha muerto un aliado.
No sobrevivirá. Solo un necio daría su vida por honor. Tus lealtades son mis fuera de mi camino. No podrás esconderte.
¡Racha sangrienta!
Nunca corro riesgo.
estaba, de morir él conocía. Historia llegaba de nuevo, se asesinaba muy bien, supo algo, había muchas cosas, solo él vaya.
Los tontos no tienen cura. Todos mueren. Algunos necesitan ayuda.
ベジータ、気をつけろ。油断するのはまだ早いかもしれんぞ。
卑怯の手を使わないで何も私をそう見下しているのでしょう。いいんですよ。その通りなんです。卑怯な手こそ私にとって最大の武器。ただそれってこうも言えるんじゃ。
No tienes el corazón para hacer esto.
Bienvenidos a la grieta del invocador.
私は今まで最大の武器を隠しながら戦い続けてきた。
30 segundos para los súbditos.
La muerte debería ser el fin. El aire se siente frío.
¿Qué? ¿Se me quedó alguien en el diente? Se han generado súbditos.
Dormiré cuando ellos estén muertos. Anda. Asustado. Huele a podrido por aquí.
Primera sangre. Ha muerto un enemigo.
No hay nada más frío que la muerte. Todo el mundo
No te agaches. Continúa avanzando. El pasado es un fantasma.
No puede ser Billy.
Necesitaremos más ataúdes. Continúa avanzando. Huele a poder. El aire se siente frío. No te pongas tan lúgubre. Dormiré merecen una segunda bala. Se acabó. Asesinato de... Tienes el corazón para hacer esto. No hay nada más frío que la algo huele a podrido por aquí. El pasado es un fantasma. Cuando ellos estén muertos. Asesinato doble. Continúa avanzando. Racha sangrienta. Asesinato doble. Merece una segunda bala. Tu torreta ha sido destruida. Anda, asústame. Algo huele a podrido por aquí. Imparable. El aire se siente frío. No te pongas tan lúgubre. tienes el corazón para hacer esto. Tu torreta ha sido destruida. Cuando ellos estén muertos, no hay nada más frío que la muerte. Algo huele a espíritu. El aire se siente frío. Tu torreta ha sido destruida. Racha sangrienta del enemigo. Anda, asústame. Párate y pelea. Ha muerto un aliado. Tu inhibidor ha sido destruido. Racha de asesinatos. Ha muerto un enemigo.
Algo huele a podrido por aquí. Muertos.
Un invocador ha abandonado la partida.
Todo mundo merece una segunda bala. No te pongas tan lúgubre. La muerte debería ser el fin. Anda, asústame.
Un invocador se ha reconectado.
Eso es la vida. El pasado es un fantasma.
Asesinato triple enemigo. ¡Exterminio! Tu torreta ha sido destruida. Tu torreta ha sido destruida. Tu inhibidor ha sido destruido. Tu torreta ha sido destruida. Tu torreta ha sido destruida.